Welcome to this week's Friday 5 in 5. This week I'm talking about 5 things that are in my camera bag other than cameras and lenses that I find really useful when I'm going out and doing my photography. So first off, Happy New Year. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas and had a really good New Year. I have. I have started already on my New Year's resolutions, talking about my top 5 aspirations last week, and I've already begun a couple of them. One of them is a bit of a healthier eating regime, which seems to be working okay at the moment, although it didn't work quite so well last night when I was having what was I having? I was having tuna on toast, toasted tuna sandwiches, and my missus made me go down the shop, the chip shop, to buy a fish and chips, which was absolutely mean, but there you go. Such is life. And also another one, which was on my aspirations for 2019, was going out and becoming a better photographer. And I'm actually going out on Saturday, meeting Darren Knight, and we are going to just take some photos. We're not going to go and vlog anything, just going to go out down to Wells, I think, in Norfolk, and we're going to go and take some photos. So yeah, New Year's aspirations coming along quite well already. So this week I'm talking about my top 5 items that are in my camera bag other than cameras and lenses that I really couldn't do without when I go out and take some photos. But before I do that, I just want to recommend someone, as I've been doing every week. Actually, I will say the guy that I recommended last week, Gareth from 1/160th of a second photography podcast, has now uploaded all of his podcasts onto YouTube. So I'll point you in the direction of that in the link below. So the person, or actually people, that I want to recommend this week is actually 2 guys. They're both vloggers. They're both currently, I believe, or they were last time I checked, on exactly the same number of subs. They're on 88 subs. One of them is FRIDAY5inFIVE. He is a really engaging photographer. Tesco's delivery. How annoying was that? Right, sorry, where were we? Yeah, so what was I talking about? FRIDAY5inFIVE, that was it. So, Martin, great guy, good photographer, photographs some really interesting subjects, deserves more subs, been going for quite a while now. So yeah, good photographer, give him a go. And also another guy called Jamie Overland. He is one of these guys who was a very avid viewer of many channels and was very supportive, and he's now taken to vlogging. He's been doing it for a few months, and he's also well worth a watch. He photographs a lot around the Fens, which is actually quite interesting. It gives you little potted histories of what's going on or what's happened there. So well worth a watch as well. So that's FRIDAY5inFIVE, Jamie Overland. I will put their descriptions in the link below. No, I won't. I'll put their links in the description below, and you can go and check out their channel. So anyway, before I have to put Tesco's away, let's get on with talking about the 5 things that are in my camera bag that I couldn't do without. So we'll put the timer up here and let's get started. Number 1 is an L bracket for your camera. So I have an L bracket here, and it changed the way that I took images, especially, well, mainly for landscape, but it changed the way I took my landscape images. Why? Well, if you don't have this on, you set your tripod up, because obviously every landscape photographer needs a tripod if you want to get nice sharp images, and you plonk your camera on in portrait landscape mode, and you think, oh yeah, okay, that looks really good, and then you go, oh wait a minute, I actually want it in portrait mode. So what you do is it's sat on your tripod like this, and you have to turn your tripod head like that, and then you've got to go through the hassle of re-leveling it again. But if you have an L bracket, you don't. So what you do is it sits on your tripod and it's all leveled up, and then you just unscrew it, take your camera off and plonk it down this way and just screw it back in again. And the other thing that it's really good for is if you are taking panoramic images. As it was before, if my ball head is here and I've got it at the, so it's sat up that and I've turned it to 90 degrees, when I'm turning my camera front of the lens is moving a lot more across this plane here, so it's much more skewed, whereas if it's sat on top, then it's moving like this and it's a lot less skewed. It's still not perfect. What you really should do is get something that moves your camera back. That's another point. So it's really useful. It's really changed the way that I take pictures. So number 2 is a circular polarizer. I've got a circular polarizer here. This one's made by Nissi and it sits on the front of my camera, and this stays on my camera almost all of the time when I'm taking landscape shots, almost all the time. Why? Well, because it does the obvious things. It cuts glare, it reduces glare, cuts off reflections. So if I'm taking a shot of a waterfall or a lake or anything with water on, it kills the reflections. So it cuts through the water, which always makes for a better shot in my opinion. And it enhances the colour, it really pulls out the colours. So if you're taking an image in the wood, or if you're taking an image on a, well, anywhere really, it makes the colours pop, it saturates the colours more, makes them more vibrant. So having a polarizer on is fantastic. The only time that I don't have a polarizer on, or often won't have a polarizer on, is if I'm shooting a panoramic image, because it does a funny thing with the sky sometimes. So that's the only time I wouldn't have it on. But the polarizer is on my camera 90% of the time when I'm out shooting landscapes. So that is a really good piece of kit. And on a side note, I'm just going to stop the clock for a second here. I've got a Nissi polarizer and I had to buy this lens cap separately, and it's really, really tight and it's really difficult to get back off again. I see these people with these white ones on, and if you're one of those, if you own a Nissi polarizer and you've got a lens cap that's nice and easy to come off, can you please tell me where you got it from? Thank you. Number 3 is a flask. And I take this everywhere with me. Why? Because it keeps hot stuff hot and it keeps cold stuff cold. So when I'm out taking photographs somewhere on a cold day, I can make my coffee at 4 or 3 or 2 o'clock in the morning, whack it in here, and it will still be hot by 11 o'clock in the morning, which means that I'm not going to go thirsty and I can keep warm on a cold day. And equally, if I'm out anywhere and it's hot, then I can put ice cold water in here and it will stay cold all day. So yeah, made by Show, not sponsored by Show, but made by Show. And yeah, anything like that, little flask, brilliant. Number 4 is batteries, spare batteries. So I carry spare batteries for my camera, I carry spare batteries for my vlogging camera, I carry spare batteries for my recorder, and I also carry 2 of these little power packs made by Anchor. I've got 2 of these, and they just, if I run out of charge on anything, especially my phone, I tend to find, then these are great, and they'll do 2 charges of an iPhone, I think. Running out of power or running out of battery is probably the cardinal sin if you're going out and taking photos. You really don't want to run out of battery, so yeah, take as much extra power with you as you can. And number 5 are these little bad boys, lens wipes. So they're made by Zeiss and they're really good. They're just, you know, how many times have you gone out and you've been messing about and you've got fingerprints on your lens or fingerprints on your filters, and these just do a really good job of just getting it off. And obviously in tandem with a little lens cloth, you know, because these are they dry very quickly, they've got alcohol on them, but you know, in wet conditions, if you're rubbing wet stuff with that, it won't come off straight away, so you need a little lens cloth as well. But these are really good. So Zeiss lens wipes, definitely in my bag. They are stuffed in every orifice. I've got probably, I don't know how many, but I've got an awful lot of them in my bag. Every time I open a little pocket up, I find about 10 lens wipes. So yeah, very useful. So that's it. That is the end of this interrupted by Tesco's vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you found those little 5 items useful. Do you have any that you recommend? I mean, if you've got stuff that I've missed off here that you think are really useful, that you have in your bag all the time, then why not, you know, stick it in the comments below. Again, if you've got anything that you would like me to discuss, then please feel free to put it in the comments below. Martin and Jamie, Martin Finity, Jamie Overland, please go check out their channels. Let's get them over 100 subscribers each. They well deserve it. So Let's see if we can push them up. Go and watch some of their stuff. It's also very enjoyable. And until next week, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.